for the Iranian man. As you could imagine how rare it is to just see woman with no headscarf just getting this stupid part. So the parts are meant for the woman only, but everybody is using it. So this is gonna be an interesting building. Very soon someone is gonna purchase it and rebuild the neighborhood, and it's gonna pricey to just live here. But I mean, just imagine, there is nothing here. I mean, what the hell happened to this nature? There's no tree. I mean, back in the day, I'm just assuming the river or whatever, the stream, was close to this part. I mean, down there. So people didn't, or maybe not, because there's another old tree over there. So I'm assuming it has nothing to do with anything. I mean, there is another ruined building over there. So that tells you there was something going on, and they're just been destroyed during the period of the time. And this was a really cheap, undervalued neighborhood. So some people just purchase it with a really cheap price, and but right now it's just going over there. It would cost you $50, just $50 to just go there, and you have to walk. There's nothing, there's absolutely nothing there. It's just a little bit of water, and you could just walk around, and there's no tree, there's no place to sit, there's nothing, absolutely nothing. So $50 for that. I'm just imagining for that money you could just get what was that, 18 liter of the Iranian gasoline. So with the $50 you could get I'm sorry, 9 liter of the Iranian gasoline. And just imagine how expensive it is to just go next to some place like that. And there's no another river around here. There's no lake, there's no river, and there's no other places, and the government is just cashing on the people. And God knows how much they have been wasted on this neighborhood, and they just own the neighborhood, and they haven't been developed anything around it. I mean, they could just give people some basic services for that cost. I mean, you could think of that if you actually care a damn about the people, but never mind. There's nothing going on. Let me just get back to my route and go back to wherever the fuck I'm coming from. These are really expensive buildings, really weird looking buildings as well. When you have too much money, you could just do, I mean, you could see your own, some value of your own livelihood. I mean, what could you possibly do with your own money? Just rebuild shit. But inside of that, there's no new story. Everything is just being settled, and the livelihood doesn't change just because you have a different building or different neighborhood. Maybe a bit change, because there's no mosques here. I don't see a mosque. Do you see a mosque? Do you see any mosques here? I don't see anyone. I see the satellite dishes. Oh, that's just the only mosque. That could be the only mosque. And those are all other, I mean, those domes are not meant for the mosque. They're just looking like that because they have a different architectural ideas behind them. I mean, they just thought that would be interesting looking. But the domes are meant for the mosques, so there's only one mosque. And this is a really long overpass for really tiny little bit ditch. So yeah, you see that building? That isn't the church. That just looks that so that would be look exotic. Anything looking exotic is just interesting. I mean, just imagine at any country, anything exotic, it would be really interesting. People love to see something new shit. So yeah, that is the whole purpose of that looks on these buildings. But regardless of that, they're not churches and they're not mosques. There's only one mosque and it hasn't been finished. I'm assuming they didn't have fundings and so maybe no one even give it them. I mean, they're just built it out of you know, what is it, a spite to the people who don't go to the mosque. I don't know, but there are some people who are still religious and rich or just native and living in this neighborhood. I mean, back in the day it was really cheap to live here, to buy this land. So some of them are really poor and underdeveloped buildings, and the rest of them, they're rich, extremely rich. And yeah, that is that. So thanks for watching. Whatever, $50.